to me and his channel.
What's up, it's your boy LOE Visuals. I'm back with another video. How y'all day going? Hope y'all vibing, y'all chilling, y'all enjoying y'all day on a productive day. We back at it. Before I start, man, y'all smash the like button, On the road to 10K subscribers, hit that subscribe button. Let's talk about it. Though. We riding to the workout, but let's talk about it. So, Canelo Crawford undercard may be some of the worst I've ever seen in boxing. And I just can't get jiggy with, this undercard. It's basically atrocious, anything. I know they might use the excuse of, we invested heavy in the main event, and, we paying this guy hundreds of millions, we paying this guy hundreds of millions, and I understand that, but you mean to tell me you can't come together and come up with just a tad bit of money to give us a decent undercard? Respectfully, a decent undercard. Like this, the undercard they got, set up right now, I mean, it's basically 3 bathroom breaks, and that's atrocious. Like, for a main event card in the sport of boxing, that we have to deal with a card like this, but it's starting to get pushed back from fans. Fans are starting to come up like, bro, what is this? People gotta wait 4-5 hours just for the main event. Main event's gonna happen at 12, and we have to sit through 3 sleepers on the main card. Then you got the preliminary fights. Who knows? Well, the only thing on the preliminary fights that interests me, honestly, is they have Sergey Boychuk on the preliminary card. So that's kind of weird. Why they wouldn't put him on the main card? The guy he's fighting, Brandon Adams, is the guy that actually beat Sergey Boychuk. And if you guys don't know Brandon Adams been in there with a few guys, Willie Monroe, Jamal Charlo. He's been around. So I've seen him before on a number of occasions. So they could have put that on the main card. We getting stuck with Caleb Walsh and Fernando Vargas Jr. We getting Christian Mbili versus Lester Martinez. Who's the other fight? Muhammad Alikio versus John Orellis. Like, bro, what is that? Respectfully, what is that? I can't give that a pass. And I told you guys, when Turkey Al-Sheikh is doing BS shenanigans, I would be here and to address it. We get on PBC, Top Rank, Matchroom, we get on everybody. When they push out undercards, that's atrocious like this. So Turkey Al-Sheikh, he's not the exception right here. So I'm gonna make sure I let you guys know that this is a sleeper of an undercard. Because I mean, I know we getting Canelo Crawford, and who knows, what if that's not a good fight? It's potential. Like, you could have threw, if I'm Turkey Al-Sheikh, you get one of these prospects, that's coming up, and you try to push them. But putting guys like, I'm trying to see, like, how does Caleb Walsh still stick around and get, like, respectfully, just don't knock the Caleb Walsh, but he shouldn't be the co-main event in a fight like this. I don't care if he's in there with Fernando Vargas Jr., a guy that's unproven. Like, respectfully, like, I don't think they should get this co-main spot. Come on, Anthony, let's get out the way. In Memphis, you guys, they drive like extremely bad. It's bad out here, like real bad. And it's almost sickening. But it's irritating to have to deal with this type of undercard. Like, we could definitely get something better. We could get something more proficient. But this is Turkey Out of Sheik. This is the one time I can't even Turkey Out of Sheik. He shouldn't even be cheap right here in this moment. He has it. Oil money is different money. Respectful. It's different money. So I think they should have, went ahead, at least tried to push some of these young guys, Diego Pacheco's, those type of guys, Muratellas, and you give those guys a name, a chance to try to make themselves a name. But I'm looking at this undercard, and I just can't. I can't cut them any slack. Respectfully, I can't. I'm looking at it. It's a bunch of bathroom breaks. And if he really wanted us to lock in on this, he could have gave us two decent fights. Respectfully, he could have gave us 2 decent fights. I'm not asking for, Tank Shakur as the co-man. I'm just, something, of substance. You could have threw Richardson Hitchinson on there, something like that. Just a guy that's something that the hardcore fans could have got with. But I guess I'm trying to still see why Caleb Walsh is still maintaining getting the co-man in this spot. Like I can only imagine the money that was dished out for that type of fight. For Canelo Crawford. What did they give Canelo? 200, 300 million? Like, if you gave him that type, you couldn't even put up an undercard. He must really fleece Turkey Out of Sheik. So, Turkey Out of Sheik, he's gonna get a lot of complaints right here. He has to understand that. Hopefully, he's banking on the main event being a showstopper and actually, carrying the card. But that's gonna be tough. You putting 8, 9 sleepers on a card and you banking on the main event to carry it. You put yourself in a tough situation. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Make sure y'all smash the like button, smash the like button, smash the like button. On the road to 10K subscribers, hit that subscribe button. Turn on post notifications. You can find me on any other platform. My link tree is in my bio. Follow my X at VisualsLOE. Follow my TikTok at LOE.visuals. And follow my Facebook at LOE Visuals. I love you guys so much, so much, so much, so much, so much. I'm out.